Hey guys, my name is Bando, this is Brexit Bando, and you have had to have been living under a rock for the last 12 hours if you haven't seen these four images. So Games Workshop has dropped a out of season April Fool's joke, which is the Horus Hearsay, a website that is aping and making fun of all of the people who keep making videos on rumours and speculation around the Horus Heresy. And so we're hearing that the Horus Heresy New Edition box is definitely coming and features salamanders as the main faction. So the rumour has it, Heresy 3, Salamanders versus Iron Hands, Mark II Marines with a Saturnine Terminator squad. I think there's two Saturnine Terminator squads, a Saturnine Terminator character, a Mark II character, and a new Saturnine pattern dreadnought. And they include a picture of a dreadnought, or the leg of a dreadnought. And then they have this badly photoshopped D18, which, as far as I'm aware, there is no D18 dice, or if there is, it's not one in common gaming use across any system I've ever heard of. So, and then they have this is a 100% legit Warhammer website, and then to prove actually it is, that it has all of the copyright gumph at the bottom. So, couple of things. One, this image is actually the Emperor's Children Flawless Blades kit turned sideways. The fact it's in green plastic is neither here nor there. The only difference between the plastics is literally they just add pellets of colour in. Push Fit Heresy. So found this thinking it's green for salamanders. GW usually uses coloured sprues for push fit stuff, underworlds, etc. This is not a push fit kit, and actually no, they don't. They used blue sprues for a lot of kits actually that were given out in the old Conquest magazines. They were all in blue plastic. Funny thing is, it was also horrendously brittle compared to the standard plastic, so they ended up stopping to doing that. The green plastic, yes, it's traditionally used for things like Warcry and Underworlds, but yeah, colour is nothing. Colour is just whatever plastic they're using at the day. But this is definitely the Emperor's Children. You can see the leg bit here, and that is one of the sword arms. Next, Stomp Stomp. Seen this doing the rounds. Looks like a Heresy era dreadnought. This is actually the first time this picture has appeared. Don't recognise it. Looks massive. Maybe a Leviathan Redemptus in 30k. Looks big. What do we reckon? While it looks very similar to a Leviathan leg, it is not. The knee is very different. It is not the back of the leg like some people think. And the toes, the extra armour on the toes is very different. The actual shape of the armour panels itself, while similar, are also distinct. This image may be like a Jess Goodwin art piece from Heresy 1 that we haven't seen, but as is, this does not reflect the current production Leviathan. Rumour has it, it's a giant, like even bigger than a Leviathan style dreadnought. Possibly could be something that's like a prototype Leviathan. The fluff of the Leviathan does put them down as based off of old Terran designs. So that's what this could be. Rules overhaul. Apparently there's a D18 in the box. Obviously something we've never seen in Heresy before. D18, 18 legions, 2 theories on this. Maybe it's some new mechanic for choosing legions, special rules, or some sort of legion supremacy role. We'll see if we can find anything else. I don't think this is legit. In fact, the only thing in this entire thing here that I think is legit is the fact that salamanders are going to be involved and that there's that new dreadnought. That's it. Possibly they may start making Heresy kits in green to make sure that, you know, to really make them stand out as this belongs to Heresy. It's not just a grey kit. If that was the case, I would expect that to have leaked before. The way their systems work at the moment and the way they produce kits in such bulk and in advance, there is almost zero chance GW would not have accidentally sent out a green plastic Deimos Rhino, Spartan, Packer Mark 6 Marines or something like that. That is, unless they've halted production of grey plastic and are going through their backlog, and they've just been producing green plastic and storing it in a non-active warehouse and ready for when this comes out. I find that very hard to believe and doesn't really make any sense. In the video, there are a couple of other things in there. There is a post-it note that mentions Hazard Stripe paint, Iron Warriors being who are supposed to be on the other side of this, and a couple of other little bits sprinkled here and there. I kind of have an issue with this whole thing. Poking fun at people who are theory crafting is one thing. Poking fun at people who are theory crafting because your entire business model is based on hiding your releases until the moment of release so that people do not have the ability to plan their purchases, and then underproducing your kits so people are worried about being able to get a hold of them, so they make bad financial decisions to snap up boxes while doing nothing to tackle scalping. This is a scummy move, and this whole website is just rubbing salt in the wound. It's bad. If GW told us 6 months in advance and went, hey, here's a design for a Mark II Space Marine that will be coming later in the year, or will be released in the future, we haven't got a release date for it, not a problem. Here's a new dreadnought chassis we're going to be using. This year we're planning on releasing a new version of Horus Hearsay. We don't have a release date at this time. I don't think anyone is going to have such a huge problem. Sure, 1 or 2 people might consider, maybe I'm not going to buy this Age of Darkness box set right now. The rest of the people will go, oh yeah, it's still cheaper to buy this, so I get all of the miniatures cheaper than on their own separately. Yeah. If a guy hasn't got a Space Marine release this week, and you've just dropped a Dark Eldar release, just because it's come out of nowhere, doesn't mean some guy's going to buy it. No matter how much Games Workshop tries, you are never going to have a situation where every single player collects every single army. They simply will not, because there will always be some aesthetic or fluff reason, lore reason, gameplay reason, colour scheme reason, any sort of silly reason why someone might not like a faction. They just will not touch them. Me, I'm never probably going to get a Beastman army. I don't particularly like them. I doubt I would probably ever collect Leagues of Votan. They'd have to make some seriously radical changes. I don't think I'm going to collect a Cathay army or a Dwarf army anytime soon. So, FOMOing it, not tackling the scalpers, and not telling anyone anything, just sitting on top of things, and possibly even leaking stuff themselves, and then making fun of people who actually want to theory craft. The people who are theory crafting, the people who are speculating and coming up with these things and trying to figure out what the rumour engines are the heart of this hobby. They're the people who have passion. I like to think that Star Wars, for example, how far would Star Wars have got as a franchise if it had just been a movie? If people hadn't gone mad and gone out and bought toys, lunchboxes, stickers, bed sheets, posters, all of those sorts of things. How far would a Star Trek have gone if it had just been a TV show and people hadn't started creating conventions to go and celebrate their love of this product, how long will Games Workshop exist if it's literally just a buy the models? You know, how long will it be before the hobby kind of dwindles and disappears again? Because it did. People forget just how close Games Workshop came to folding back before Lord of the Rings. It was squeaky bumhole time for that company. The people who have the passion, the ones who often get called names, nerds, traditional nerds, before the Marvel movies, before geek became chic, the people who were generally ostracized because they were really, really passionate about nerdy hobbies and stuff, they were the ones that made these sorts of things profitable because they cared. And this, I feel, just makes fun of people. Now, is this marketing? No, I don't think this is marketing at all. I don't think it is. If it is, this might just be the very first step. And if they update this again tomorrow, the next day, whenever, and they regularly just ramp things up until the end of the month, you know, they show us a bit more and a bit more and a bit more. If we get this every Thursday, Horus Hearsay on a Thursday, every single Thursday until the end of the month, which is when the Dallas Open is, and then they give us a big reveal, Horus Heresy 3.0, okay, it's marketing. Don't think it's particularly good marketing in my opinion, but it's marketing. And I think Dallas, because the Dallas Open is the perfect time for a few month window before release. That's generally what they do for new editions. I kind of find multi-million pound companies being self-referencing and trying to be memeable and funny like this very cringe. And yeah, I just think that they deserve, well, the fans deserve a bit more respect. So let's see where this goes from here. Let's see how we go next week, the rest of the week. Who knows? Anyway, I won't whine anymore because I know the guys in the comments really don't like it when I open my mouth. So thank you for sticking through this long. We're nearly at 2,500 subscribers, which isn't a lot for some people, but it's a huge amount for me because I care about every single one of you. It's nearly Friday, so well done guys, you made it through another week. Thank you very much. As always, if you want to support the channel, like, comment, subscribe. I did have someone message me and say that there is a post-it note in the back of this video that says meeting with Anya, and they said that was definitely a reference to me because I use Anya in a lot of my thumb pictures. It's not, as far as I know. If it is, I haven't been told about it. So let's see where we're going, guys. Drop a comment down below if you want to have a conversation. I'll be happy to have you. Thanks very much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.